Alright, everyone, welcome back to Zelda Speedruns 2. Hope everyone is having a great start to their day, or midday, or evening, whatever your time zone may be. This is the winner bracket semi-final match for the DDR tournament, our Season 1. And with me today, we have Soulblade and Emo Soda. How are both of you?
Doing pretty good.
Hello, chat. Hello, my fellow commentators. How's everyone doing? I'm okay. Somehow I'm in the DDR booth. I've played DDR before though, so I feel like I know what I'm doing. But we'll see what the seed has to offer the players today. This is Exodus versus Sage. I know they're both great players. Really excited to see Exodus here and see what he can pull off. But same thing for Sage. I mean, he's been around a long time for DDR, so. Should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, Exodus is known as a Bing god in the bingo community, so definitely quite a hype match by both players who are very familiar with glitches. Just to give an overview, so this rule set, the DDR rule set dungeon door requirement, is different than standard in the randomizer community, where it is the intermediate between the glitchless standard and no item manipulation wrong warp. So while it still follows the same glitchless logic, with the exception of some settings changes, such as 1 stone bridge and 5 medallion Ganon's boss key, ultimately the logic itself is the same that you would see in standard randomizer matches. So we'll be seeing a little bit more outside of the box exhibitions in terms of tricks that players will try to skip items to go fast. You gotta go fast when we're racing. But ultimately, all of these tricks that we see are not necessarily required to defeat the siege.
So did that actually give 26 because it was a stick upgrade?
Yes, it does.
Nice. That's a good find.
It's not bad. I mean, they don't start with sticks nuts, right?
Yeah, we don't start with consumables. You don't start with Ocarina.
Oh man, you can potato skip here? Let's go.
You can't potato skip. So potato skip is also known as using ocarina items. So if you have a bottle, you could essentially ignore the requirements of an ocarina and even play ocarina songs in areas such as Treasure Chest minigame where you normally would not be able to play an ocarina. So having a potato, while nice, is not necessarily required if you have a bottle. And if you want to skip the magic and lens requirement for Treasure Chest minigame, you definitely would want to be using quick put away ocarina items.
Just get the 1 in 32. Easy.
Or also 1 in 32.
Yeah.
That definitely happens. I don't remember if it's Sage where we do have someone in our tournament just for shits and giggles likes to go through the 1 in 32. Because it's always fun.
Yeah, Sage picked up 5 additional rupees in this rupee routing here, but Exodus' movement has just been a little bit touch cleaner. It's about 20 seconds ahead here.
That skull mask, though.
Free shield!
Deku shield. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna go for it. Could be wrong. I want to be wrong.
I
don't think they're gonna. Alright. So both hints are pretty useless around Deku.
They just want you to know, hey, this is Deku shield.
Hey. Skullmask is dead. Alright. Cool.
What is this V1? What do you mean, Batso? Oh, version 1 is in like Rando 1.0? 2 stones are the same. Oh, got it. I don't know. I roll seeds that tell you where shields are. We know this. Oh, look, a bottle and a big bow.
Nice.
So just as we willed it into existence with talking about potato skip, we now have a bottle. Although we can't necessarily use it until they go adult handed in.
Yeah,
So
it's really
unfortunate.
unfortunate.
Bottle.
Decidedly not a free bottle, but it is a bottle.
Really useful. And you know what? You don't have to do big pose. That's
Yeah,
nice.
it's right there too. It's not like it's in domain that you have to go turn it in like a letter. So, oh, there's a slingshot. So we're now in logic. Yeah. In the same room. Yeah.
Yeah, that was supposed to be in the big treasure chest video game.
So in terms of logic, B1 skip is not a trick that's enabled. The same thing in standard weekly settings. So we do still need a slingshot, but not that anyone actually uses it in this day and age in rando.
Yeah.
But there are no extra tricks that are enabled in this setting string. Mostly the same. I will actually put the setting string as well.
Man, they're just getting all the free consumables.
Who said we don't start with consumables? They're apparently just in your dungeon.
Well, it was you that said that, so.
Yeah, that was also playing on. It's like, apparently, we do start with consumables just in Deku Tree.
Let's see, yeah. Not a bad place to find them either. Pretty convenient. You're gonna find them at all.
Yeah, so we do have open Deku, which obviously both players have gone for. And when you start with a medallion, doing Deku is beneficial no matter what. Because you can either get another medallion or you get a stone, which means you'll have access to Ganon's castle to make the Rainbow Bridge. So we did have a discussion as a community in terms of having open or closed Deku. The requirement in this rule set of the Kokiri sword is just another item requirement where we don't really even use the Kokiri sword. If you equip it, it kind of prevents you from doing a couple of glitches in bottom of the well. So even if you do find a Kokiri sword, there's very rare times that these players will equip them at all. And also because we have mega flipping, if you have an explosive, you can just skip Mido. So it really is not required in this sense to have a true closed Deku. In terms of items... Oh, go ahead, Emma.
I'm a open Deku fanatic, so whatever argument you want to use to opening Deku, I'm totally fine with. If you like the colors, you like the scenery, that's cool. I'm all for it. Big thumbs up.
I guess giant trees are cool.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, for a randomizer at least, like, you're always pretty much gonna go to Deku. So I think just doing it at the start, just to get it out of the way, just makes the most sense for me, but...
Yeah,
like,
we will come back...
like a loot box?
Yeah. We will come back to settings discussions after the tournament, so if you're currently a standard player looking to get into DDR, definitely participate in our settings discussion. We did look at item distributions between open and closed Deku, and the percentage is really not that different, just because Deku is so accessible, regardless of whether it's hidden behind a sword or not.
You're gonna learn Mido, skip, and like it, Dotso.
And it looks like Deku is another medallion, so it's still worth, but we'll have to find another easier dungeon to get a stone from.
Yeah, so for DDR, are they really just interested in finding the stone as soon as possible, just so they can go Ganon's, or...?
That's a good question. I'd say that depends on our hints. I think in DDR we rely pretty heavily on hints in general, specifically the Path of the Hero hints, where it's telling you there is going to be a major item that would be worth exploring. If you are lost in progression. There are a lot of checks, specifically like skipping the light trial strength 3 requirement. I mean, that's 8 checks already. It's just a very dense area, so it's a gamble. Do you rush it, or do you try and follow other logical progression? But if you have a hint that says that Ganon's path or way of the hero, which we have seen, you'll definitely see someone searching for a stone dungeon to get it. It really depends on your item.
It also depends what dungeon your stone is in.
Yes. So Gerudo Valley has the ice arrows. Nice.
No, the pedestal still has dungeon information, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I'm like, it's like I'm asking if the air is breathable. It's like, I could take this helmet off, right?
Too much random settings. We don't know if we get information.
Clearly. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes.
It's a nice early divergence.
Yes. And Exo and NA aim. Frog's 2 dead.
Fox 2 is always dead.
There have definitely been times that there's something on Frogs 2. There's also 30, 40, and 50 skulls. So whether we care about the item on it, though, is a different matter. If it's a strength, no one cares. If it's hover boots, someone will care slightly, but probably still skip it. If it's light arrows, we're all going to be mad.
I think I've had a guided bottle on Frogs 2 before. Required the only bottle in Logic. Ooh, 30 magic.
Oh, okay. Speaking of.
Nice. I wonder if they'll try and avoid that for now, or if they'll just go all in for it.
So was that first hint market foolish after he did a market check?
Yep.
At least he didn't do anything else there, so I mean, he's still saving a bunch of time. It's just, child shooting.
So much for that big toe.
Yeah.
I still think he's gonna empty it for the most part.
Well, yeah, we want the
depends on when
bottle.
they turn. Yeah, it depends on when they go adult, but I'd imagine like routing in VL here is fairly free. You get to skip Richard, so
It's typical game though. They give you the item and they're like, "Ah, that's foolish."
That was also a hint that says that Serenade is vanilla. Is the game even rando?
I don't know. You're the one that pressed the button.
Apparently I pressed the wrong button with all of this vanilla and French vanilla nonsense. But we did say that 30 skulls is a magic meter. Also in the 4 block of hits in front of Temple of Time.
That might be important.
30's not that bad.
Depends where the second magic is.
Probably locked in shadow.
Of course, it's always in shadow.
Sage also gonna go for ZL here. Pretty safe play, all things considered. 40's dead.
So hopefully the most you might have to get is 30.
Oh, did we see a 50 hit?
Did we?
I don't think we did.
Don't think so.
No, we just saw a 30.
30 and
It's-
40.
Hopefully you only have to get 30 and 50 is dead.
Don't let the seed hear you, then it might be actually required.
50 is the other magic meter.
That's true. There's a lot of power here. Most of it, not very real and projected, but we still have power. In the commentary.
Don't
booth.
take away the measly power that we have.
Okay, alright. Oh, so Sage is grabbing the hints at the very least here. He did grab
Sage is
A.
staring at that one for a second.
Yeah. Exit is pushing the block a little bit too far there. Gonna have to get a second block.
That happens.
Yeah. I always stop pushing like 2 pushes before, and it's usually fairly consistent. Yeah, okay. This is pretty much
You're
what I thought.
also-
Sage just gonna go adult. Probably wants to empty the bottle, I guess. Seeing the 30 skull hints, gonna pretty much push him to skulls. Doesn't need night market, so it can just do like adult cac, wait for night, go back child.
Zelda's
I don't know.
Lullaby on Zelda?
Wow. Yeah, that might be a big game changer for Exodus here. Really depends on what the other child songs are, I think. But that might really put some holes into Sage's plans here as far as like density and that sort of thing. You'll be in the right area that you want CL anyway, so this might be really bad for Sage. Ooh, DC's horse medallion though.
Oh, the Bear and Jabu medallion. Nice.
I love this distribution.
Nice.
This is excellent.
It's not bad.
So that
So,
makes Shadow and Forests the stones.
and water, right?
Oh no, water.
Yeah, with
Water,
the Dongo's
Shadow.
Cavern being Forest Medallion and Dotso pointing out 2 free songs, this is like the most amazing distribution ever.
Yeah. Easy songs.
I think this is going to be a fast seed. I'm gonna
Yeah.
call it right now.
Definitely.
Here's what CAC brings us, but if there's explosives in CAC, it's gonna be over pretty soon, before it even starts. It's really gonna be determined on if explosives is in CAC, I think, because ZL and Epona. Wow,
What?
okay.
Excuse me.
I swear
the
to
songs
God,
are
this
vanilla.
is randomized.
It's not the practice seed, right? This is,
No! I even made sure to check the settings.
Oh, I believe you. I believe you.
I believe you just because the medallions are randomized so far.
Which robot do we have to blame today? Is this RSL bot or is this handcrafted?
Maybe RSL Bot and Random Bot are coming together and conspiring.
RSL
oh no,
bot
they're learning.
is sentient. I am fair. Like, they read the bracket results, they read the RSL results. It knows what it's doing. I can see you, RSL, but I'm coming for you.
I had to look away from my screen as Sage did something unseemly.
He didn't do
See.
anything. Don't worry about it.
Unseemly.
Nothing happened here. Well,
There's explosives. That's why you come
How
to CAC.
many? I
I'm
bet
gonna
5.
say a 10-pack.
I guess we will have to wait for Sage to look at it. Oh look, fire arrows. That's nice.
Wow. All sorts
Oh,
of
yes.
goodies.
Mhm. The bunny hop kills me every time with that jump.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I don't really like the backflip setup there. I always just go for just climb the thing and just 180 it. This doesn't even turn the camera. You waste your time. Get the first.
I feel with these settings, that's the worst warp song ever.
Prelude? Not really. I mean, you can make use of that bottle quicker now. So, I mean, Sage has an empty bottle and Exodus doesn't. So that could end up mattering, especially with how many chews this is. We just don't know yet. So, oh, well, there's spawn back anyway.
well,
so-
never mind.
Don't even need the choose.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm fairly certain Sage will go DC here. Seems like a pretty heads-up play.
Late to this, but should we do it?
Sorry, what was that? You cut out for me.
Oh god, here it starts.
It's Discord. I'm pretty sure it's because Discord's been doing this all weekend, so I'm fairly sure it's that. But
I'm going to do
easy way to hero
nice
and hook shot.
and a hook shot. All right.
Wow.
All right.
I started channel point prediction. So feel free to vote for who race. This may be quick.
Yeah, I mean, this is totally up in the air at the moment. I mean, you have so many good things running around. Exodus has bomb trees of his own. I mean, he has 10 already. So he can do a lot of things before even going adult. So this is really going to come down to a lot of different placements for the randomizer. I think getting SFM hints is pretty huge, too. I mean, 3 hints is nothing to scoff at, so it's really going to give them a lot of direction for Exodus. Although they could be really bad hints, so we'll see here. Also, nice total. Oh, 74 now, though.
Ruined.
Yeah, that hook, though, I mean, if Sage spends any amount of time beyond DC going back child, it might be really bad for him.
Song of Storms. Nice. That's a early well right there.
I don't think they're really...
We murder a chicken. Oh, and look, another bottle. We murder a chicken to get in the bottom of the well. If you play the song, you're DQ'd. So...
Hasn't stopped me before. Where's my DQ? All I got was this shirt.
And that's our third Baron hint, Goron City. And I've missed with the path hint.
Was that a shadow path?
What?
Nice.
That would be hilarious.
Stone Shadow
I'm
finds a
amused.
way?
Who wants to bet it's for magic?
Better be something. I want my Stone Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Goron City Foolish is so good for Exodus here. Especially if Sage wants to be a little bit more conservative with his routing and do like the whole loop of like DMT and all that before going DC in the hopes of finding another like child item or something like that, another dungeon item. It's a second slingshot. So that could add up to like a few minutes lost already. That's part of the risk of going adult early CAC. I mean, it's a high density play and it's also kind of variable. You don't get as many songs, you don't get as many hints, not nearly as many hints. So there's a lot of risk in coming to early adult CAC, but as long as you're careful about it, I feel like there's a lot of payoff potential. It's a chicken's dead hint too.
DJ, your favorite hint. I actually did chickens yesterday for a free shield. I didn't even know it would be a free shield, but that's why you're rewarded.
I just have a counter on my desk that says it's like the same thing as like a workplace accident like counter. It's like days since I've done chickens, and I just keep
What number is
counting
it
up,
at?
keep counting it up. I don't actually have a counter. I mean hypothetically. I do.
It's at 0 because I always do chickens.
I don't know when I last did chickens. I think I did it in the weekly last week for the EU weekly.
Well, that's pretty recent.
Yeah, it's 7 days though. I mean, it's a lot of days. Okay, so there's a bow on Bigoron. And Riverway the hero as well. Exodus does not know that.
I think he saw it though. It was on the ledge, right up there by the Zora
Is it
entrance.
strength there?
It looked like a strength, yeah.
We do have Song of Storm, so Frog 1 has potential. So just to give another overview in the DDR rule set. So this is the rule set in between standard and no item manipulation. So the major glitches like SRM, RBA, or reverse bottle adventure, they're all banned, but you can clip as long as you are entering the dungeon the intended way and opening the boss door with a boss key, so no BK. This is more notable for Jabu and Shadow. So in Jabu, you do have to use a fish. Jabu, you cannot clip using a recoil. You cannot clip as adult. And for Shadow Temple, you cannot jump over the loading zone. You cannot ledge clip. You must either light the torches via fire arrows, din, or quick put away as child and do child. And there are, as long as you have explosives or hovers, explosive and hovers or a long shot, you can skip, like to get to, you can use a recoil, you can do a super slide, you can do a mega side hop, super slide. Like there are multiple ways you can get to Morpha. Oh, Tektites. Well, not all of us are swag strats, so. But yeah, you can do a recoil off of Tektites the same way that you could do off of the P-Hats on Hyrule Field. And
I like that the stones are just constantly reminding them this place is foolish.
oh yeah. I mean, it's actually interesting. I feel like water as a stone is probably going to be the one to go for. Forest, I mean, we have a bottle. We'd have to hope that boss key is early, which I don't know, we don't get that lucky all the time. So in Forest, we do enable useful cutscenes, so the 2 cutscenes that you'll see as opposed to normal rando are going to be the pose lighting the torches in Forest Temple, and then Darunia in front of the Fire Temple boss key door. Unfortunately, we can't use the cutscene in Fire since that is a BK skip, but we do make use of the Forest Poke cutscene to keep the elevator raised as long as you do not die or warp away from the dungeon.
Alright, well, Sage found his own strength in DC.
So
Yeah, so I
another...
guess yeah, both strengths are way to hero? Question mark? Maybe?
That probably is leading towards Spirit being required. So when you have variable medallions, hints are very weird. In the sense that to be considered as way to hero, it must logically lock 2 dungeons. So having those 2 could also mean potentially Outside Ganon's Castle Fairy, GTG Silver Block, Spirit Temple, or Light Charl all are required in some shape or form. Could also mean... can you bomb clip through most of Shadow? You can mega flip your way through Shadow. Hovers are not required. So that is also a strat that is used sometimes in this rule set for seeds.
I'd say most of the strats that you see in DDR all have some inherent risk in them. So I think that's a good thing for the most part. You don't want to just have a bunch of things that are allowed that are completely free and there's no risk to them at all. It's not super interesting to me, but so I think things like that, glitches, logic skips are all pretty cool. They save a lot of time, but you do have to be careful with them at the same time.
You can key lock yourself out of completing Shadow. That is a real thing. That is very easy to do. So the good way of putting it, emo, like do these things at your own risk. The game does not expect you to do it. So any tricks you do, use with caution.
Yeah, and I mean, it also depends on who you ask, whether or not that's even a good thing or not. I think going out of logic is one of the more interesting things you can do in a randomizer, and it's also fast and efficient, so I think overall, yeah, you do have to be careful with these things, but it's also You know, that's why you play DDR versus standard. Like you can do all these things, and it might be a bit harder. And there are these drawbacks that do exist, but yeah, it's a cool way to see Randomizer being played. So
yeah, and there's definitely benefits to just going through the logical way rather than doing tricks.
yep. I mean, standard players that don't play DDR at all can definitely beat DDR players, both just in these settings, RSL, what have you. So it's not completely out of the question. Here's a King Zora Skip's child from Exodus Aside as Sage kills the king.
Yeah, not a King Zora Skip. He's going out of bounds to go to Lake Hylia. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, that's a clip to bypass the scale requirement. And you don't need any extra items. You can pick up a stick from the pot right nearby. So when Glitch Logic 2.0 comes out, that may be a logic. Oh look,
nice.
a wallet.
Could be a required wallet. Maybe only one of the strengths is required too. So it's definitely it's an interesting pickup in DC, I think.
I imagine if it's a required wallet, the runners will collectively not care about it.
Probably not. I mean, can definitely be pointing to water eventually. I mean, yes, with Path of the Hero Shadow, so I think they're probably going to be more interested in that. They have fire arrows for Sage's side, so if you get bow magic, I mean, all you really need is Nocturne, right? Or do you need Dens in DDR?
Logically, you'll need Dins, but you can do FAE. You can do the clip in the Redead room where the boss key is. So you can just like stick your nose in the spikes and aggro the Redead so it'll freeze you and you can go through the moving wall. So Dins is definitely not needed, but logically it is required.
Okay.
Not needed, but slightly helpful.
Yeah, it has that. I mean, the one thing I experienced, I didn't have Dins in a no logic seed recently, and I only had 5 hearts. So by the time I got to that back room, you had to have enough hearts to be able to put your nose in the spikes, which is like half a heart, or a full heart, depending on if the Redead is not your friend that day. And then you also lose a heart when you void and reset the room. So Dins is at least helpful if you're on low hearts, but if you have a lot of hearts and double defense, I mean, go for it. You do have to reload the room twice to get both chests.
It's like Exodus is going for Southfield checks, gonna get a few more hints in addition to a couple item checks. And yep, kind of as expected, Sage is gonna go up DMT here. Ooh, there's magic!
Hey, look.
Big find.
I guess 30 skulls is pretty dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is quite a jet.
Bottom of the well path.
Oh, there we go.
Alright.
I guess Exodus is probably gonna stay child for a little bit longer now. I would assume he just goes to South Remote, and then from there just walk to CAC. I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
Yep. Mayhus, that may be a possibility. He doesn't have the bomb bag though, so I mean, using a Chuda Hess is maybe not worth it for the time save.
No, I think he's just gonna walk there.
Yeah. Sage already at 10 skulls.
Walking. Ugh.
As far as like where he's at in the seed, it makes sense. I don't think losing like a minute or two to walking is gonna be the end of the world.
Yeah, and also a good point, burning time of day so you get there at night for Dompe.
Yeah.
So that definitely is helpful. Time of day manipulation when not having Sun Song.
Oh, I love it. It's one of my favorite things in Randomizer. I really hate suns. I think it's the worst song.
I don't know. I think Sorry is pretty bad.
It's not super great. I mean, can at least point you towards logic, right? So even if you don't necessarily need it, just knowing where it is pretty helpful.
In Sage, doing a Hess to get past the boulders, save a couple of bombs.
Ooh,
And there we
Oh.
go!
get his path.
Now we're back to 2 strengths being Way of the Hero and Light Trial.
Yeah.
Another usefulness to manipulate Sunsong is to just restart at the beginning of your entrance.
Sunsong warping. That is also how you do the chess game, yeah, with the Sunsong.
Yeah, that's a good point. So he's gonna refill on bombs as Exodus gets his 10th skull, and he's gonna check 10 skulls here in CAC. Just a piece of hurt.
Not very useful considering how many heart containers there are laying around.
Ooh. Big scale on top of the crater beam here, so we're gonna see. Looks like Sage is setting up a backflip here.
Yep, he's gonna be doing a mega flip. If you're familiar and comfortable with mega flips, there are multiple setups to make this extremely repeatable. And if you're on VC, or okay with multiple pausing, you can also pause buffer doing mega flips. Logically, you do require to plant a bean and have Bolero or have hover boots. But we have explosives and a shield.
Who needs logic?
And here we go with Saria's.
It's gonna be very useful for that Baron Goron City.
We still have Skull Kid, and that gives us access to a Sacred Forest Meadow as adult. We do have a Forest Starter Kit, technically.
Yeah.
I don't see these two actually using it to get into Forest Temple.
Definitely not. I'd say
I mean,
most
of the
players.
I mean, of the dungeons, Ocarina of Time is Minion of Forest, so I mean, there we go. Of the dungeon layout, I can see it go either way, doing forest or water. Most will probably go water because it's a lot faster. But I don't know. We do have a bottle, so forest is not the worst thing in the world.
Exodus found a Nocturne.
Yeah, Forest is definitely, it's on the longer side. I mean, it's the longest dungeon, I think. So it's not really something that you want to go for, but sometimes it's better just for the consistency. Like you just put your head down, do Forest, and sometimes it's faster than trying to find your items for the other dungeons. So it can go both ways.
Well, there was
But you
the
can also
50
lose to execution, just trying to do Forest, and then oh, your opponent's done while you're in Forest. It's like that worst case scenario.
$50 is nada.
Okay. So 30 through 50 effectively dead, at least for us. We'll see if Sage goes Southfield. I mean, it's not necessarily a high density play. It's not a high priority target on the map, so I could see him just going for 30 skulls, especially if they get hookshot at all.
Yeah.
In the early part of the child route, so we'll see here.
And you could still do other stuff while getting those 30, so it's not too far out of the way.
Yeah.
Was that about
Exodus
getting
gonna...
disqualified?
Yeah. I mean, it's night.
Oh,
Doesn't have
boy.
suns. Well, there's the hook for Sage here.
Exodus doesn't want to go into the well with a chicken.
Shame. Not shame.
Oh, it is nighttime. That is true.
Yeah, I guess so. We'll allow it.
Playing
Don't
the
have
song
to-
is probably faster than waiting for time of day.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And it's just a meme, not like it's actually going to get anyone DQ'd. I think it's a lot subjectively more fun to use the chicken.
All the chickens are sleeping. You can't wake them up.
You have a job to do, chicken.
Which makes me wonder where they're sleeping because they've escaped from their pen. It's gonna be helpful right there. Stone of Agony.
Oh, we got
Ooh,
a Windows
uh-oh.
update.
Yeah.
Thanks, Windows, for the reminder.
We start now? You almost clicked it.
I
I
know.
was-
I don't know. That would have been Monk S. I mean, we do have
Disaster.
FPA, but also
I mean,
terrifying.
Windows updates? I don't know. You tell me.
Yikes. Windows, the original malware.
Let's see if there's anything else in bottom of the well here. About
There hasn't
halfway
been a
through.
whole lot down here yet.
He's found a bomb bag. I mean, it's pretty huge. Doesn't have to get the one in CAC. Could push certain things rather than just having to go to CAC. I think it's okay.
A chicken has hatched. Yeah, Sage has a chicken.
He's also getting pretty low on bomb shoes, so I think just for that reason, he's probably gonna be pretty happy finding the bomb back here.
And green gauntlets.
It's a interesting shade of green.
Matches tunic. Color coordination. I
Nice.
appreciate it.
Definitely looking a little Christmas colored. Sage said. Looks like he is going for the sturdy skulls though. Grab the river here skulls. Or at least this one.
Thank you for the subscription. I was gonna say Osmond, AOS. Oh! Hovers in Steam
Alright,
chest.
well,
Nice.
that's cool.
He knows where fire arrows are too, if that matters. So could just see him go straight to Shadow when he goes adult. I mean, he has most of the things that he would need.
Shadow was also
what he-
path.
Yeah.
Was.
Wonder if the runners are thinking, okay, what is this shadow path? Like, could it possibly be here?
Could
Yeah.
be anything.
I mean, now we have the hovers and explosives, so doing water is way more approachable.
That's true. Going for Ganons potentially as a play. No Serenade.
Yeah. We do have that hint too.
Yeah, I think with Nocturne, Exodus might dip Shadow.
think Sage may be going back child, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't even done ZL yet, so...
Mm-hmm.
Seems like he's satisfied with the adult section here. Doesn't want to stick around just in case it is a waste of time. Finding Requiem, okay.
But he's got the song now. Nope, he's off the Spirit Temple.
Let's go Spirit, yeah. This makes sense too, I mean...
You can figure out pretty quickly if you need to go Child Spirit or not.
Mm-hmm. Some shoutouts to ZeldaSpeedRuns for the rate of 119. Welcome everyone to the DDR, what is this, Winter Bracket Semifinals?
Yes. In our Season 1 tournament. So I believe you guys are coming from the EU Weekly and Standard rule set. So another variation of the Randomizer with a rule set that allows glitches. So we do have different settings. We use one stone bridge, one stone bridge, 5 medallion BK. Otherwise, all the logic settings are the exact same as standard. So right now we're about 45 minutes into this match, where we have a plethora of items, but too many options of where to go. As we're trying to decipher what hints would be worth pursuing at this time.
Sage considered going back to Temple of Time. Changed his mind. Did get Bolero though, so if he gets a hammer.
So look at this heart total discrepancy from both sides. Exodus has 5 and Sage has what, 10?
Sage got all those from his adult trip.
Yeah.
Exodus will jump up there soon once he goes adult.
Maybe. I mean, it kind of depends what he goes for first, I think, but...
I believe in him. He could get
It's
it.
gonna have to route time of day a little bit, so it looks like he's gonna go to Tektite Grotto to make it day, and go back adults, and go adult for the first time, really. We're seeing Sage do Reverse Wasteland. Heading to GTG, I assume here.
Looks like it, yeah.
Having
Kind of an
strength
interesting
2.
play.
Yeah, having strength 2, you can pretty much full clear it, which is going to be super helpful. We do know that toilet is a key, since that was hinted. So other than the 2, 3, 4 Bollock checks, there is quite a lot of progression that you could hope to find. GTG is very dense, so now we're just searching for high dense areas to continue.
You could even find a bow in there.
You could. There are still 2 more bows we have yet to find, other than the one on Pagoron.
I think it's kind of a sketchy play for Sage, but the only reason I wouldn't really want to come here is he doesn't even have opponents, so he doesn't even know if it's in logic yet, so he might not even find anything.
Exodus just got a ring at a boulder.
Boulder of Destiny!
Very nice.
And that's an interesting way of getting this check. I didn't know you could weird
nice,
shot that.
Nice weird shot.
My personal preference is to just mega flip from the top. But okay, this also works!
Nice.
Rewarded with more health. Sage just has a poor chicken sitting in his pocket.
Oh, Exodus finally going adult. Very successful child exploration. I probably would have done Jabu though before going adult, just to get it out of the way.
Well, his bottle still has a big bow in it.
Oh, find another bottle like Sage did. Got it. Okay, yeah, so turn in the Poe. Do a little progression. I mean, Jabu is Baron, so go either way.
You can't fit a fish inside of the big Poe. Well, you could drink the big Poe, can't you?
No, you can't. You do have to hand it in. That is true.
It's the small Poes that you can drink.
Yeah, the only thing I wouldn't really like about it if Jabu play. Well, I guess he has Yell, so he could just do the Lost Woods into a river, clip again, just please Yell go there, right? I mean, that's not too bad. In terms of time, a little surprised that he didn't go for it, but maybe he just wants to find his other items. I mean, cutting off Adult Cac this long is also pretty risky, I think, so probably just wants to find, like, there could be a hammer, could be a bow here, like, pretty easily, so
Yeah.
the seed's already
Mostly
giving me so
connect
much
to
early on.
Jabu from Life
Yeah.
of Bottle.
I mean, we do have Shadow Temple and Inside Ganon's Castle path hints to be determined. They could be a bow, they could be Mirror Shield, or they could be Hammer. We don't know. We have yet to find the adult trade quest item though, so it is undetermined if Forest is completable yet to get a bow. That's probably the only thing that would break this wide open, is if we do find the trade quest item. It most assuredly is a Mirror Shield or Hammer in Inside Ganon's Castle.
It's just a prescription to claim check, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Going into the like room.
Yeah, as
This is one of-
Exodus does CAC stuff, yeah, all eyes are definitely gonna be on Sage here.
Yeah, and this is one of the potential reasons why it could be Way of the Hero. Even though we have a path hint for for Inside Ganon's Castle, Strength 2 is required for this. If they had Hammer, actually I don't know if you need Hammer, but there is a hover recoil you can do to get here without Strength 2. Oh, it's a bomb. It's a bomb one. Yeah, you don't need Hammer. You can do a... I'm gonna say it wrong and I'm gonna get yelled at by either Azure or Dotso, but a Mega Side Hub.
Oh,
There you go.
wow.
Oh, rewarded.
Don't even need to
You know what?
make it bigger on one.
Because Epona was vanilla, I guarantee that's the reason why Strength 2 is probably Way of the Hero, is to get that bow, because we haven't found the trade quest item.
Yeah.
I can believe
Now-
it. I mean, it's a super aggressive play to just reverse Wasteland just for GTG.
Yeah.
So I think I definitely wouldn't have done that play, but
Now he
I can
finish
see the
clearing
reasoning
out.
for it. Yeah. Because it could just be Light Trial, for all we know. I mean,
It could, but that's also... This is where logic will always supersede trick knowledge, because Epona being accessible, GTG is open. So that
Right.
very well may be a Way of the Hero bow. And
Right.
trying to pick out, especially in variable medallions, why things are Way of the Hero, it puts so much more emphasis on them. So having 2 strength Way of the Heroes, yes, Light Trial is definitely one of them, and it was coupled with a path hint. But I would probably prioritize all of the checks that are logically locked behind at least 2 strength minimum. And that's something that, when you know all of these skips, it's hard to prioritize. But ultimately, it technically is following logic, just in a different order. Sage doesn't know that Epona was available, but
Right.
if he did 3-song and found it, then that would kind of put the pieces together.
yeah, that's my only real critique on his routing here. Is, I mean, opponents could be an ice for all he knows. So
Yeah. It's very possible. You do make a lot of riskier gambles with this, especially if you skip 3 songs. I'd say the only songs we really care about in this are knowing where Nocturne is, knowing where Requiem, and knowing where ZL is. I mean, ZL cannot be Way of the Hero, but you do technically need it for access to Zora's domain unless you don't have a scale, but as adult it's required. You do need it to complete Shadow unless you do boat skip. Like there is definitely logic requirements that still help make routing decisions, but doing this all on the fly is very challenging.
Dixon is starting on DC here as Sage is cleaning up GTG.
That's that kind of item showing up is what we call bailed out. Nice.
It's a weird shot there.
More health.
Chest is blocking your rolls. Oops, that was a little late. Still a little late. There we go. Unbuffered weird shots look very intimidating, but there's a very nice video from Fig. And there are a lot of other videos as well to learn them, but you can totally do weird shots fully buffered. It's just a sequence of inputs and release those inputs on frame perfect or semi-frame perfect bomb explosions.
The fool trap.
And another wallet!
Link can be a rich boy now.
And a lens. Nice. Okay.
Definitely looking at that lens kind of sideways, like, oh, what if the keys are all required for all this stuff?
And baby stabby.
Yay.
I think we're still looking for 2 keys, right? In addition to toilet. There's one. I think that means that this, did he do the BMOS room? If he did not, it's most assuredly a key, I think.
He did do it.
He did do it?
Very
Okay.
slow, I think.
Alright, I don't know what keys he did or did not use, and counting is not my forte.
I think he got... Well, he got 8, because the one in toilet's a key, so... He got 7... Or no, 6. The 7th was right key, and then he weird shot and found another key in the maze. So that should be 8.
You can use that lens for looking at Bongo Bongo.
I mean,
You
Market
know.
Foolish, we did have Requiem, so Lens is not really worthwhile in this seed, in any type of logic.
At the end of that stone shadow, you know, you could
Oh,
look
what
at
is
Bongo
that?
Bongo.
Camera, please. Camera is not cooperating.
Camera.
I guess it's something that Sage wants, though. I didn't see what it was. Did you guys?
It looked like long shot for a minute there, but I think
Oh.
it had a good look.
Oh, is he gonna damage? I didn't. Oh,
Bomb juice?
That's bomb juice?
Okay.
I
Alright.
mean, I guess.
They're fast.
Also,
I
I-
mean,
That was the coolest swan dive from a damage boost I have ever seen. That was swag.
Swan dive into the rock face. Nice. Good recoil.
And we don't need to do...
Careful buffering.
Yeah. We don't need to do hammer rocks since that was hinted as ice arrows. Now, if Sage had hovers here, I guarantee he would have just, like, gone way through water to get that stone and go to castle. Are we getting a fire play? Fascinating. Nope, never
Possibly.
mind. I think he's going forest now.
The bow, it seems fairly likely just commit to it rather than trying to find a way to beat water. I mean, those hover boots weren't in a great spot, right? Remember where those were?
Bottom of the well base. No, bottom of the well steep chest. So,
Okay, but
yeah.
he's done pretty much all he can do to not go back child again. So I think he's really committing to, like, hopefully I don't have to do child at all again this seed, and you save a bunch of time by not doing all the early child stuff, but depending on what you lose out on, that can be really good or really bad for you. So it's definitely a risky play. I think, if anything, Sage probably feels like he has to take some number of risks against Exodus, right? Do you think he feels like he's not behind, but disadvantaged?
Oh, I would feel behind right now. Yeah, I would definitely be feeling behind. Especially with this song layout, I would not be the happiest. And also the dungeon spread really kind of makes it more challenging to go for risky plays because you got a Jabu Foolish. Where's my Rang? That's an easy medallion. You have a required hammer or mirror shield in addition to that. So you're basically just searching for all of those, and then in the end we're probably not going to find light arrows and just wait for the hint. So going for high density areas, really following your hints is probably the way to go this type of seed. Light arrows on Bongo. You know what? It could happen. I would laugh and rescind my want to play this seed.
How great would it be if I got the light arrow hint from Ganon? He's like, "Go to Shadow," and then what do you do to clear it at the very end of the seed? Like, do you take all these risks, or do you go through it normally? Like, I don't know what the play there is.
I mean, considering fire arrows and magic are accessible, they are for sure just gonna go. If I didn't have fire arrows, I would have deeply considered Child Shadow, considering they have Nocturne pretty early. I don't know. Shadow is a gamble. It's a long dungeon, but it has a lot of checks.
It's true.
Yeah, and you know it's an item, but you don't know if it's an important item.
Right, but it won't be light arrows. Light arrows is not in the list of items that can be hinted.
So for all you know, it could just be another bow or slingshot or something weird.
Good.
I at least like this forest decision from Sage. It's very Sage.
It is. I mean, he has 2 bottles. One of them has bugs. Rip Carl. I don't know if he picked up a fish. Sage names his fish Carl. I name my fish Susan. Susan's been a bad fish, so we've rented out Carl. Carl did not do very well for Key last time, so we'll see if Carl is going to be ultimately fired and replaced with Bugs, his best friend. More
Even
chews!
more bomb chews. Nice. so many chews. He's got 38 of those suckers.
First try, very nice. Bugs are friend. So Bob, Billy, and Bertrand, thank you for your assistance today in skipping this cutscene.
What about Gertrude?
Are we gonna get an early BK? Oh, snap! Yes, let's go.
Wow.
Best Forest Temple. Oh, he's still gonna check. So for me, I would still check Courtyard, but I wouldn't go any further. But yeah, that's the ultimate boss key location in this rule set.
Yeah, it's huge.
He might go further just because Sage is on the Skull Hunt because he doesn't know about the magic in the grotto. The only magic he knows about is the Skull one.
Yeah, getting the 4 skulls in Forest, and at least going through the courtyard even with an early boss key is still pretty beneficial, considering Sage has yet to find the other magic in Hyrule Field. Are we nap timing in Forest already?
No way.
Yep, Forest is happening. More of a power nap here.
Oh,
Wow.
rewarded with light arrows.
Alright. Seems good.
And looks like Exo wanted to do a spirit dip. He does have the benefit of hover boots, so can check child side. For just one check though. Does not have. Oh wait, no, he can do both. He has magic for the fire arrows, so he can do child side if he gets key locked.
I like this play rather than just reversing the GTG personally, but I'm a big Spirit fan, so. Like going to GTG without those pretty, I don't know, optimistic? Is that the right word for it?
Yeah, I'd say that's a word for it. And
Big
Big Stabby.
Stabby, yeah. I love Big Stabby.
This is still anyone's match though. We're a little over an hour, so I did not say the happy 1 hour, but happy one hour. So thank you both to my co-commentators, Soulblade and Emo Soda, and to my co-tracker, Lazy. Thank you guys for hanging out today for this bracket race and restream.
It's been pretty chill so far. Very fast seed from the looks of it. I don't expect it to go another hour, right? You think they're gonna sub to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
will.
say sub 2 because we're literally a mirror shield or a hammer from go at this point. Whichever one they find first.
It'll be on Phantom Ganon at this point. It'd be really hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
Like you reverse Haunted Wasteland without even knowing where opponents is. Find a bow in GTG. Come to forest, get your lights, get your last item potentially. Like that'd be insane. Horrible way to lose for Exodus, but
I don't know, it's anyone's game. EXO is gonna do Jabu. Get that out of the way.
yeah.
Might as well. Probably ponder next decisions, which I think is also a good play. Doing a foolish dungeon allows you to just really think about your logical next progression.
Well, for DDR especially, it's even more like dense in terms of like what your options even are. So knowing like what glitches to use. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't have any problems with thinking about that or execution or any of that. But just generally speaking, yeah, the foolish Jabu here can at least let you look up videos potentially, even if you do know them. Just like setups or whatever, just in case you need to look up something like that. So there's a lot of value to it still.
Definitely.
And it's probably required. It's probably required. It's not too long either. The job is okay.
Yeah, he's totally gonna skip the entire thing and just make a flip over, and then have the greatest boss battle of all time open the door. I swear to God, that door is like the worst thing in the entire game. Who thought the doors would be more difficult than actual bosses in dungeons?
I hate that boxless setup. I just never go for it. It's such a pain for me. I don't even like to think about it. It's not really that hard. I mean, but still, still.
I think Sage is about to go get all of his child stuff now.
EDND. What is this acronym? All dungeon. Oh, fuck you. No. Get out.
If there's no doors, you don't have to worry about keys, though.
Let me get more comfortable with RBA first, then we'll talk about it. So I think EXO uses the same setup that I do, which is my personal favorite, and also there's a ZSR video on it on YouTube. Not like a setup video, but at least showing it off. Oh no, he's gonna use... Oh yeah, he is. Oh no, he's using ledge cancel. Boo. So there are 3 different methods that you can use to skip King Zora's child. This one is called a ledge cancel. I'm not as familiar with explaining it, but it more locks your camera to allow you to slip past King Zora. The other methods are you can do a kind of like a backflip damage boost out of bounds using a chew or a bomb, although chew is preferable. Oh yeah, you forgot a fish. I've done that before. F. The last method that is technically considered itemless is that you can use a burning stick to jump slash into out of bounds and also to swim around. So all 3 of them are allowed in this rule set. The burning stick method is probably the one that most racers will use, especially if we don't have explosives at that time. But having explosives is always beneficial in whatever rule set you play, because bombs are life, and they are very fun.
Those 2 guards right there are very observant. You just walk right behind them and they don't even look. the flip.
So now EXO is armed with Carl, and we'll go back to Jabu. A little bit of a time loss, but not too bad, thankfully, with having ZL.
The commitment to the flip is real.
That it is. We always go for swag.
There you
Nice.
go. No, don't push the block. It's boring.
I'm all about the boring strats. As long as they're effective, that's all that matters.
It is true. There are multiple different methods to do any types of tricks or glitches, but if it's a method that you're comfortable with and works for you consistently, stick with it. Comfort and the ability to repeatedly do a trick is way more important than trying to YOLO something on the fly.
Yeah, that's not just for DDR2. That's for any rule set for Randomizer.
Exactly.
But you'll look so cool on the restream.
I mean, that is part of it, but now that we're in brackets and it's not a normal weekly, I think our players do want to win.
I guess. Winning is cool.
So, as Datso's typing in chat, he does have a vested interest in the winner of this match and the loser, because since this is a winner's bracket, both of these players are still in the tournament, regardless of who wins or loses. But the loser will be facing Datso in loser's bracket. So, we'll have to see who his next opponent will be.
I can see why Dots hanging out with him. Definitely scouting out his opposition, seeing what they could or could not do. I think for Datso, I don't know what you would want. Like, I don't think there's any preference on who you face, right? Out of these two runners, like, they're both really good.
Yep.
And here we go, the battle with the door. I hate this door.
Cool time of day for Sage. It's technically night, even though it's completely light out.
It's the
It's like the very end of night. Like, I don't know if you can get much brighter than this at night.
Yeah, it's like the start of dawn.
I mean, look at the sky. Oh.
Yeah, it's fine. You're only destroying the day-night cycle of Hyrule by playing Sun Song. Don't worry about it.
It's almost got its magic. There's going to be still a bow ahead of Exodus here, so I'm not sure what Exodus's next play is going to be here. It still needs Ganon's open. Needs a stone for that.
He needs to get his bow from either GTG or Bigoron.
Still a third bow out there, though. Could always find it.
Good, yeah. It's in Shadow Temple, though. Don't worry about it.
I do feel like EXO is probably going to do water as the stone, because he does have hover boots already. But unfortunately, having the light arrows in forest, I don't know, that's a tough move. There are still bow lock checks in water, but it is extremely quick.
Sage is going to go for, so it's 28 here, 29 with, I guess, DMT Bugs patch, or Bolero, or Wreck. I mean, could get him fairly easily. There's no Nocturne for him yet, so it's gonna have a little bit more difficult time if he goes for that. In terms of getting back. I believe he's already gotten the northeast side of the field. Looks like he's gonna opt to get a couple skulls as adult. Makes a lot of sense. A little bit faster than pretty much any option he has right now. Outside of Jabu. Oh, maybe not.
Faked out.
Fake me out, that's for sure.
They get Nocturne from Composer Grave.
Yep.
Yeah. Smart.
That's a great idea, or a good idea that is probably here. The Ice song was hinted as well as OT, so it's already 2 songs out of the equation. Really all it could be is Epona Nocturne, Song of Time, Song of Storms. We know it could only be one of 2 things, but we also have already seen it, so...
Yeah. So, the one thing that's interesting in making an Ice play, though, is that we don't have a Rudo's Letter yet. Rudo's Letter would not be hinted path, but it is possible it could be an inside Gainus Castle. So, until we find Rudo's Letter, I would probably focus on the current in-logic checks. It would make the most sense for Sage after to go and check what is there before making the next decisions. After doing Jabu. I think he'll probably do that as the last part of Child, since everything else is adult only. And a nice super slide. If you're not comfortable or know how to ESS or hyperextended super slide, you can just do a regular 2-bomb super slide. Or 1-bomb if you're swag.
Link just scooting across Hyrule Field.
Yes. It could be a way to hear for Bo. We still have the Inside Gainus Castle path hint, so it could still be for Light Child. We're 2 major items away from completing the seed and being in go mode. Or one of the 2 major items that have to be found. Logically, we still need a Rudo's Letter to get through Jabu. So it's very possible, because we found a Rang, if we don't find a Rudo's Letter, then doing Jabu is maybe not the medallion that the randomizer wanted us to do. If we find a Hammer and Mirror Shield, then those were the 5 dungeons it meant for us to complete.
It's going for Ganon, so we'll find out.
Yes. It could, I mean, Way of the Hero is extremely strong in variable dungeon rewards. Whether it be standard or DDR rule set does not matter. So it is something to really kind of consider when you do have Way of the Hero items, is to follow that logic. And this is also another potential.
It can also let you know exactly which dungeons the seed is intending for you to do, even if you don't need to do those. It can help you know exactly what's locked by what as well. So if you're really careful about logic and all that, so...
That fish has 0 interest. Alright guys, we got him.
So you don't want to, like, go against the grain of the seed, right? Like, sometimes you do, but...
Yeah, at this point, because both players are kind of not sure what to do yet, you do want to go with what the seed expects you to go towards next. And I got really excited that outside Ganon's Castle Fairy was a shield, but it's not a mirror shield, unfortunately.
It's a non-shiny shield.
Rudo's Letter cannot be hinted as Way of the Hero or Path. It's an item to us that does not exist. So there is a no. It's an item that we don't want to see because it's a bottle that we can't necessarily use. So in the paste bin, there's the list of the major items that can be considered path. Most notable would be progressive strength, scale, fire arrows, dins, hover boots, iron boots. Zelda's Lullaby, both tunics, and Ruda's Litter are removed from Way of the Hero entirely. Oh yeah, so it's hover boots, hook shots, both of them, Din's fire, bomb bags, boomerang, bow, hammer, iron boots, both magics, mirror shield, fire arrows, or all three strings.
Well, there's Ruda's Letter in Shadow Trial.
Alright. Well, that is not our path item, but that makes going towards ice or fountain in logic, and Jabu being a completable medallion that the game wants you to do.
Ooh, this is gonna be... Is this a hookshot setup for Water Temple from Exodus?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Turn around. There we go. Nice.
It's gonna save a lot of time, but I mean, he still has to get those light arrows from Forest Temple eventually, at some point. We'll see if that really comes to hurt or help his game here.
Right. There you go.
Another non-mirror shield, yeah.
Getting through Light Trial will help us understand what the two strength way the hero are. We'll see if we find anything useful here. So what Exo did is opening Water Temple with just a hookshot. You don't necessarily need hookshot extension, but it does make it a little bit easier. Titties. And the way that you can get into Water Temple in the DDR rule set is through an ocarina dive. So what he's doing is he's going to the very edge of this platform before falling off, and going to scoot forward and play ocarina to hopefully enable the ocarina cutscene so that you just sink all the way to the bottom, and then you can just swim right behind you into the dungeon. And it looks like nothing in Light Trial, so those two strengths may or may not have been pointing to completing Spirit Temple or the bow in GTG. Most likely the Way of the Hero bow in GTG.
Yeah, that's what I would assume too, if I were Sage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's not
So
too far out of the way after Lake, too, in Water for Exodus. So I could see Exodus just rushing that after Water Temple here.
Yeah. I mean, Datso, we have not seen the third bow, and we have not seen the adult trade quest item, so we don't have another bow to say otherwise. It could also be related to completing Spirit Temple too, so I mean, that's part of it. Oh, interesting using another Highland shield. Bait!
All these shields, and none of them are mirror-like.
Yes. And Exo's showing off that irons are not really required for this dungeon. You can do a ledge clip over by the platform where the Zelda Lullaby song is played to raise the water level. So if you have Zelda's Lullaby, you can go all the way over to this loading zone, float to the top, and then complete the rest of it in a glitchless way. You can also get to the compass chest with that ledge clip. You can also get to quite a lot of places, including Morpha, I believe. But that one's a little bit more complicated. Shadow Trial 2. We do have fire arrows and magic. That's a potential. We haven't found anything else. Oh god, that's awful.
There's gonna be something in this validation test right here.
Ooh, it feels like Hammer here. That'd be huge for Sage.
That would. He would be essentially glow mode. Oh no, he is go mode because he's the one that found the light arrows. So yeah, he'd be go
Yeah.
mode. Hammer or mirror shield, whichever one.
Dens?
What about just Dens?
Okay.
Ooh, that's
All right.
painful.
So
All
whatever it is in shadow. I think we can pretty much assume at this point.
Here we go. What's our path of the hero in Shadow Temple? All right, I'm gonna make a
Magic
bet.
first.
Sage needs to find one more skull to get the magic meter.
He can get the one in CAC.
Yeah, but he's at 29, I think, isn't he? Oh, right, the one on the roof of the person's house.
So get your bets in chat now. What is in Shadow Temple? You can also be super specific on what actual check as well.
Show me the irons. Show me the irons. I want to see it.
Stone Shadow finds a way.
And it does.
All is right in the world of Zuder.
Cold scale and water. Okay. All right.
That is funny.
It's ominous for sure. Nice winner herpes.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Oh, there's the
Oh!
trade item too.
Interesting. That was on 20.
Wow.
It was on 20.
So maybe
Oh,
not
wow.
Way of the Hero bow. Okay.
Some mirror shield then? Shadow maybe?
Mirror shield or hammer or
Yeah.
something not worth. Which would be even more feels bad.
Yeah.
Sage, yes. Right dungeon. Stone Shadow.
Yeah. I don't know.
At least he has everything for Shadow, right? Like he doesn't have to skip anything really. He can just go for it. Just let it rip.
Yeah. I mean,
He doesn't have hovers, I guess, for his side, but I mean, he doesn't need those, right?
Yeah, you just
no, they're just a suggestion. It does make it easier though. Yeah,
for sure.
and the music is foreboding of what we're going to find in this dungeon. Very foreboding. The slow walk, really getting the anticipation up.
Long shot.
Whoa! I don't
what?
like that.
Does he
That's-
bail now?
Is he?
He's
He's
thinking
thinking.
about
He's
it.
deep thinking. Oh, he's gonna go spirit. Okay.
It could just be
Yeah.
logic.
Interesting.
Ooh. Oh god. Well, Sage does not have the benefit of the hover boots, so
There is an
There are
additional
few-
setup cost, yeah. for him.
yeah, there's the 2 checks in Child he can't access, whereas Exo could. But man, that feels bad. I kind of want to select nothing as the winner for the bet because long shot is like feels bad. So I'm just gonna go with that.
We could still see it from Exodus' side. Like he could go Ganon's directly after water, could find Dins, and just be like, well, okay, I'll go. Like,
I'll
Yeah,
select
it's-
another winner if we find something.
that's right.
And that's what we're referring to. There is a hoverless setup to get into child side. It is just really disgusting though. So I actually think you need it because the other chest was the boss key. So you're locked by child. So we'll see if he does it or he'll just save warp. Yeah, he may just do it as child. He doesn't have magic just yet, so it makes more sense to do it as child. Oh, wait, no, he has magic now. Sorry, I'm blind.
Yes.
He has fire arrows. Oh, yep, maybe. Yeah, he's gonna go child. Because he didn't. Yeah, he didn't do Baronade yet, and he has Rudos, so might as well clean it up. So that gives an opportunity for. Yeah, it gives an opportunity for EXO to get there.
It's true. Only takes one item in water. All hell breaks loose.
That was quite a strat to get Dragon Chest.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Never seen that before.
That was cool.
Makes sense though. Makes sense.
And
Fire.
just given a bottle. I think. I don't know if EXO did Dark Link. River's a small key, I think, was hinted. You can teach me that. It's pretty easy. You say that, but it's still disgusting. And every time we've done a new logic seed, you usually struggle for like 5 minutes, which does not give me hope. We know river hint? Okay. Oh, we had a toilet hint. That's probably what I was thinking of. Not with that. Oh, he didn't do Dark Link. Okay. Oh, Dragon Head. Oh, okay, got it.
Okay, Exodus going for Dark Link and River Chest here. I think he's only found, what, 2 items in water? So it should be 2 more?
Yeah. And he does have hovers and explosives, so Song of Time not required. You can do what's called an entrance point glitch to glitch yourself into the doorway, and then hookshot extension over the door itself to unload the temple, or to unload the Song of Time block. So yeah, water is extremely overpowered in this rule set, with the minimal amount of items that you need to do literally anything.
It's still pretty low density though, and still takes quite a bit of time here. I mean, he's still been in water for at least, what, 10 minutes? So it's not necessarily saving a ton of time, but it is saving on item requirements, which is the big thing.
Yeah, now this is Rando being Rando. Where's the boss key? I think that's the game we all play in all Rando.
Yeah.
Dark Link had it all along.
Yeah, and using that fake stabby, and thankfully not a lot of hearts, so not a lot of health to Dark Link today.
Nope. Dark Link didn't have it.
Oh, not going to do entrance point split. Oh wait, yeah, he's gonna go spirit. Interesting. So adult Sacred Forest Meadow is Song of Time, which apparently I didn't mark. No one's yelling at me. I'm doing bad at tracking.
Sage is going for domain here as child. I guess he's doing Jabu anyway, and it's foolish, so makes sense.
Yeah, cleanup checks on the way.
Might as well.
Yep. And good first try super slide into child spirit. One of the easier methods to get in. If you can super slide, just hold left. That's it.
I don't know if I can hold left.
If you have a notchless controller, that also is potential. And also this bubble is a jerk. There you go. Ooh, clutch. Nice exo. I hate using hover boots for that. I would have tried and lower the bridge because I always fall. And Sage remembering to pick up Carl.
It's a pretty important item to have.
First look in the Spirit Temple here, I think, right? These checks?
Yeah,
so
we haven't gone past the first floor yet.
Just wait for the third bow to be in here. It's gonna happen.
Oh god.
Or
I mean, then
maybe
we're
Shadow.
back to... Yeah.
Yeah.
I was half expecting it to be in the heart piece chest when you said it.
Then we're back to Way the Hero Bow from Way the Hero Strength. Just different location.
Just
Right.
flip-flop between strength and bow way of the hero.
Sage entering Jabba here. It's going to be his fourth med, which Exodus does already have, but Exodus is still missing a stone for Ganon's.
Which unfortunately was unsuccessful with water.
Hmm.
But hopefully that's good. That'll push him to forest to get light arrows, so... it's a little bit of lost time with water, but it's knowledge gained, and will push you towards a place you'll have to go eventually anyway.
Yeah, he's in
And it's not
Spirit
that
first,
bad.
too. So, I mean, he doesn't know
Yeah.
that, but will still be a pretty big time save. Good knowledge, regardless.
Knowledge is still worthwhile, especially where we're an item from go mode for either of them. We don't know what it's going to be. So it's not a bad play to go through Spirit, hoping that you'll eventually have to come back anyway. So at least you have your boss key, you've cleared most of the checks. We don't have Furor's Wind, but if you at least clear the pathway to lower the platform, you can do so, or you can statue head clip. Although getting up to lower the platform is really not that bad. It's probably similar to just doing statue head clip, depending on your speed. At my speed, it would be the same. Yes. We don't have a mirror shield. We want a mirror shield, though.
Depending, at this point, it's going to be a little bit over 2 hours, because this hammer mirror shield isn't showing up.
It's
We have
not
almost
Spirit,
all
yeah.
keys. We only need one more small key until it's literally only items left.
Just at this point, I'm assuming right hand's the last key.
Mm-hmm.
Bombs.
Ugh.
Deciding to bail. Interesting.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
don't
you
forget to do.
used... He could have done boss key chest.
Mhm.
I would have maybe done that. But then I also, in previous matches, have bailed on Spirit, where it was my logical hookshot, and I didn't have a hookshot. So, I mean, can't say I would play any differently than this.
I've definitely lost to that before, doing the exact same thing. There was a weekly, I think a week or two ago, where there were 2 items in Way to Hero Spirit, and one was in that chest, and it was Mirror Shield.
Yeah.
It's so gross.
Yep, I've done that too. Spirit is not just a meme for the logic, but also as a troll. So if Sage decides to follow EXO and go through Spirit, I don't know. What do you think we'll do after that? Will he go back to Shadow? Well, that's kind of the only thing left to do, right?
Go back to Shadow because it's still Path.
I mean, we don't know if the path was for Longshot or for something else.
I think what you're going to see here out of Sage is, I think he's just going to full clear Spirit rather than bail like Exodus did, because he's already cleared GTG, already cleared Forest. I mean, what else does he really have left to go to?
Right.
The hunt for the item.
I mean, at least
Not much
EXO's
else
gonna
to
get a
do.
bow, which will push him to Forest. We'll see if maybe he'll full clear Forest. That's also a play. For Datsu, you really want your sushi sundae that bad? I mean, I understand, but yeah, we are unfortunately falling further and further away from sub 2 hours, which feels bad in a DDR seed. I'd say the majority of them are like on 2 hours or a little bit less. And this dungeon layout was such a tease with hoping it could have been that way. With all 3 child dungeons being medallions. Fire can be a quick dungeon. Ooh, Pokeballs.
Where did you hide the mirror shield, Shiro?
I mean, I voted for Shadow in the bet, so I mean, like, that's probably where it is. That would be my guess.
I mean, I bet the hammer was in Shadow. So, you know.
I mean, could be either. It could be both. At this rate, we have no idea. EXO has Epona though, so I mean, we could check horseback archery.
True.
I guess he'll save. Yeah, no.
Setting
What?
up the save quit to do Gerudo Valley, maybe?
Oh yeah, true. I guess just deciding to mega flip or mega side hop over. I'll have to remember that. That seems pretty easy. Oops. Mega side hops are a lot more forgiving than mega flips. You have a lot more inputs. You can essentially, as you're rolling into the bomb explosion, mash a side hop. So if you're looking into learning how to do mega boosts, either from damage, mega flip, or mega side hop, definitely start with mega side hops. They're very, very easy. Or just use Naru's Love. Naru's Love gives you infinite iframes in order to roll into and backflip the damage explosion.
Yay, Nehru's.
Yeah, in glitches, Naru's has quite more of a purpose. So it's not useless.
Sage can get it because he has a long shot.
Yeah, to figure out what's on the hand. And save a key. But I mean, we had all the keys anyway.
Although Exodus could have also gotten it with others.
Mm-hmm. I mean, rolling into the bombs, or rolling in general for a mega flip, mega side hop with Naru's, I think it's also to build muscle memory. That probably is also why I fail it all the time, is because I can't do mega flips with Naru's love. Too many frames. And when you're doing a mega flip, you can't mash buttons. It's a 2-frame window. Dare I ask what a nutted weird shot is?
Sounds dangerous.
Extremely. Yeah, alright, I don't feel as bad for asking if Asher asks.
Oh.
Yeah, that is dumb. Making use of the dins. Why not? As EXO is going to be very happy to find a bow in this room.
Yes. Always nice when you don't have to worry about Bigger on.
Yes.
Hey, there's the Mirror
Mirror
Shield in
Shield!
Spirit Temple.
What? What?
Oh, I guess I came back at the right time.
And it's also orange? What?
Orange?
Woo! Yikes.
Alright, Sage is in go mode.
I don't think anybody won that bet.
Yeah, no one won that one.
Yeah, it's extra bad for Exodus because he wanted to come to Spirit. He was here quite a bit earlier, just didn't have the bow, so he couldn't make use of the fire checks there. So just wouldn't have been able to do it even if he wanted to, unless he went there as child. But I mean, I don't think his racers are really wanting to do Child Spirit if possible.
Yeah. And also is showing off statue head clip. Since we had a super early boss key, so essentially it's just a series of inputs and then a hookshot extension through the head to get the grate. And then you can use your boss key. So, yeah. Wow, that really sucks for EXO because he was so close. Unfortunately, not going into Forest to get light arrows also was hurtful, but as we were saying earlier, like, Emo and I'm always full clear to the capacity you can in a dungeon before bailing. That's a rando thing. Rando gonna rando.
Yeah.
I feel like Sage has definitely been playing riskier too, so it's a little bit ironic that he found it first.
Yes.
And even the long shot location was not great for Exodus. Ganon's having stuff was also not ideal. It's just kind of a perfect storm that just didn't quite work out for him in his route.
But yeah, this actually may come back to be sub 2.
Yeah.
We'll see how bad Troll Robot is.
He's already cleared up the DK chest, so it's gonna be really close.
Quite possible.
He
Does
doesn't
have
have
potential.
furores, so it's gonna be the biggest thing. I would guess it's a 202 finish for him.
Okay. Okay. I would say 2 even or 201.
159.
I think Twin Robot just takes too long is the problem there. Like, it's not gonna be until 156 he's in Blue Warp even.
Yeah.
Or at the very least gets the meta out of it.
159 in 60 seconds. Yeah. Totally. That works. It doesn't matter for Sage now, but I think there's something else in the Shadow Temple.
Highly possible. And also Furor's win. Funny. And it's like, not today game.
Not quite useful.
Yeah.
Definitely unfortunate for Exodus.
Yeah, it was... I think the bow location probably forced a lot of decisions. And then Spirit Logic. We'll just always blame Spirit Temple Logic.
Spirit Logic, curse you. Very orange shield though, you are correct.
So it's gonna do fire air entry here, meanwhile.
It's because I don't think he has dins.
Nope.
Yep. At least we'll get to see FAE.
Yeah.
Right. One of the only places you can still do this without getting arrested.
Thought so. I think that is true. The video for this is Exos.
Yep. Short on notes, or...
No, he's looking at the video probably.
Ah.
Yeah. And as someone who has 16 post-its of glitch trick shortcuts, I respect that. I would write it down too.
I've only... So I have a... I don't know. Infamous is probably the better word. Clipboard that I use for my notes. Every single seed, take the same notes with the same clipboard, which I recently refound upon moving places. But anyway, I've only written 2 things in Sharpie on the clipboard. The 2 things are OGC changes time of day to night, and the Frog Stew song, and that's it. That's all I deemed important, I guess.
Yeah, that was pretty clutch. Is the last arrow and the last piece of magic got him in.
So I'm definitely team write stuff down.
Get wrecked, Ganon.
Getting the long shot. It looks like EXO is going to continue in Shadow, so we may be able to see something. Maybe. Not a lot of it.
One more check before Sage finishes.
Yeah, we didn't even see Dead Hand, so maybe we'll see Dead Hand. Requiem was...
Oh gosh. It was early. I remember
It
that.
was early. Sage had it first, which makes me think... Bolero? Also, the irony of the final Ganon fight that has Spirit Temple music, that's just a kick in the face. Requiem was on Prelude. Okay. Thank you, Lazy. It's one of the two songs that we got from the Dongo Cavern that happened too fast.
Alright.
Nice.
Kick going down.
I was pretty close with my guess. 202.
We'll get one last check before he lands the finishing blow. Piece of heart.
Piece of heart. Name. Alright, GZ's in chat for Sage. Finishing with a time of 2:01:28. And EXO did forfeit, so Sage is coming in for an interview. Hopefully EXO as well. We will find out shortly. Alright, let me mute this before I get thoroughly distracted. But what a match. So 2:01:28, really. Oh, they're both gonna come in for an interview. Great. I'd say that's pretty average for a DDR seed. Not that bad. That mirror shield was just extremely trolly, and the bow.
Yeah, it was.
Shifting in spirit, bow in GTG, like not great locations for those, but I mean, great if you go there. Great if you go there.
Yeah. So I'm just going to... Oh, here's EXO. GG EXO and GG Sage.
Thank you.
He's-
GG's.
So, would you have preferred Egg to roll the seed than this one?
That depends. Would both of my path hints still be complete bait?
Unfortunately, well, we don't know because the only thing we've seen in Shadow is the long shot, and maybe there's a hammer there. We don't know.
Yeah, I guess there could be. I just left after I found the long shot. I was like, I'm done with this shit. These hints can
Like
bite my
shield.
ass. It was in spirit.
Okay. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
on the what do you call that room? Torches room?
Silver rupee.
Yeah, child side.
Whatever room, yeah.
Is that? I don't think that's strength locked. So it's weird that that's there. Right? I don't know. I was thinking spirit because the double strength waft, but I don't think that's. I don't think that's strength locked. I don't know. There might be something else in there that I just skipped.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting that you chose to go to GTG when you did, Sage. Was there anything really that kind of pushed you towards that? Was it just density, or?
The double strength. There was DC Waff and ZR Waff, and I found strength in both of them. So I'm like, well, I'm here now. This isn't really in logic, but I haven't done 3 Song as Child yet, so Opponent's Song is very easily on one of those songs, which puts it in logic. So this seems like a gamble worth taking right now.
Vanilla Epona.
Yeah, I figured it had to be something like that, because I think the 2 Warp songs I knew where they were hinted, and then the other 2, they could only be Saria's Song and Opponent's Song.
Yeah, quite the nasty bow locations overall, though. Definitely not something that you'd want to see, especially with the Bigron item being on 20 skulls. That was pretty gross, too.
Yeah.
But there was another magic you didn't get, Sage, that Exodus got that was in Southfield. I think the South Salesman had it.
Oh, dang, really? Nice.
Yeah, this seed is very fast at the start, so kind of seeing you guys go through it was a real treat for sure.
Oh, I thought that when I found the thing on 20, I was like, okay, well, I didn't know that magic was down there, so I thought he was going to have to do 20 or 30 as well. So I was thinking he'd probably find that before I did, and that would be his bow, and then I wasted time in GTG. But I guess it didn't work out that way.
He never got Eponas, so trying to go to Southfield there is just a kind of a stretch, especially with that Serenade. So it made a lot of sense that you didn't go there. You would have had to do the pretty early child segment, but you went adult fairly quickly and just tried to not go child as much as possible, at least from the booth. It looks like what you did.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, once I found ZL, I really wanted to go back, but the skulls, I had to get all the skulls.
Yeah.
Yeah, so EXO benefited from finding the other magic in Hyrule Field. Pretty sure that's where it was, Southern Scrub Grotto. But it was interesting watching this because Sage, while you were running around as adult, EXO had a very long child segment that led to quite a lot of items. So this was very, very much a trolley seed in terms of, yes, you have hints. Do you follow your hints, or do you just follow where your items want you to go? So what did you think of this seed, EXO?
Well, I think I played fine, just unfortunate. I don't know, just bad luck, I guess.
It was a lot of different kind of situational item placements, I think, that really got you. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't really take anything away from this, just because it seemed to me like it was a jet seed, especially for DDR. I mean, if you do a couple things in a slightly different order, like you could save, I don't know, 10 minutes off of this finish time, something like that.
Yeah,
but you have to do something very particular.
Yeah, it was like 1:15 when I only needed like hammer or mirror shield and bow, and I just spent like 50 minutes looking for them and just never found them. So that's just unlucky. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, it is kind of how most of the seeds turn out to be, is looking for one major item. At least this time it wasn't magic, but still
It's randomizers. That's randomizer. I mean, it's easy to chalk it up to that, but I think for this one, if you go back and rewatch it, I mean, I don't know if there's much else that you could have done outside of taking huge risks, and I don't know if that was worth it at least for your out Exodus. But
Spirit Temple, then a Spirit Temple.
Pretty exciting match nonetheless. How are you guys feeling about your next match in the tournament bracket here?
Well, I think I face either Fanta or Sora, and either one of those are very strong opponents that I'm afraid of, and so I'm very afraid.
And then EXO, you get to face Datso.
Alright. Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
I think Fanta and Sora may or may not have scheduled yet, so I may ping them. We also still have another losers bracket match, Zombiegon and Azure. So that is still to be determined, the matchup after that as well. But we are getting through halfway through this tournament, which is pretty exciting. Nearing the end. So if you guys have no further comments, I guess I will thank all of our volunteers today. Thank you, Emo and Soulblade, for being on comms with me today. This was super fun. And thank you, Lazy, for tracking. Thankfully, no computer issues. Knock on wood. We made it to the end of the restream.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for volunteering today. And please give our runners a follow, Sage and Exodus. This is not the end for either of our runners. We are in a double elimination bracket. If you are interested in following the rest of this tournament, please join the OoTR Discord link below and check the ZSR schedule. We're trying to restream as many of these matches as possible in the bracket stage, especially now that we're reaching near the end of it, and gearing all the way up towards grand finals. But if you're just interested in learning more about the rule set, we do host races every week. We try to. During tournament season, it's been kind of difficult. But if you're interested in just doing a pickup race during the week, you can grab the DDR role from Chatbot in the Discord and send a ping for race planning. That's kind of all I have. Any final thoughts? We'll probably raid ZSR. They are doing a 3-game back-to-back for Wind Waker Randomizer Challenge Cup semifinals.
Ooh. Very nice. Yeah, fun match. Thanks
That'll
again
be
to
good
the
to
runners. And thanks you guys for commentating with me. It was a ton of fun.
Thanks for restreaming. Thanks for commentating. It's been fun. Thanks for playing Exodus. GG.
Yeah, GG.
Alright, and with that, we will send everyone to ZSR. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We hope everyone enjoyed the match, and we'll see y'all next time on ZSR. Bye-bye.